Hello, very good morning. Welcome to today is Monday, the 24th day of August 2026. The Monday morning is the day the Lord has made, and you and I shall rejoice and be glad in it. It's exciting to be here with you this morning. Right after news sports, it's now time to turn our attention to other aspects of the morning focus. My name is El Samuels, and I'll be with you between now to exactly 10:30. 7 days from today, 7 days more to go for the big one, the celebration of the 30th anniversary of the Maranatha Power Ministries International. This week is going to be something else. And don't forget, the homecoming is also set up for the 30th. So today, exclusively, we're going to have some conversation around the 30th anniversary. Right after that, we'll also be having some more conversation on the homecoming, which is starting this Friday. 30th running through to from 28th round through to the 30th, which sets the tone for the celebration of the 30th anniversary. It's a preparation and how things would unfold. We'll tell you more on the homecoming as well. We have the conversation, we'll be talking to some few members to find out how far with preparation for the homecoming edition. It's now time for me to turn my attention. Being joined in studio is Afrakuma Francisca Tori. Afrakuma, good morning to you.
Good morning.
How are you doing this morning?
Always blessed and highly favored.
How was the weekend?
The weekend was blessed, even though it was stressed, but...
Stressful?
Yes.
What happened?
Because at the shop...
Mama tied you up?
No.
You said Mama tied you up?
She didn't tie me up.
Mrs. Ntori, did you tie my Francisca up?
She didn't tie me up.
I should add Mr. Ntori.
He's not even at home. It's at work. So it's only I and my mom.
Oh, your mom and you?
Yes.
So you went there and ate Mrs. Ntori's food, right?
Yes.
She cooked for you?
It's very important, yes.
You cook for you?
Yes.
And you ate alone?
Yes.
That's a very bad one, isn't it? That's a very bad one. He didn't give some of us. You see, life.
Next time.
No, they will tell you next time.
Next time I'll reserve something.
Oh, I mean, somebody promised me a pack of what's the name? Coca. It has taken
Really?
more. It has taken more than.
Oh, it will come.
It's taking more than. Oh,
the person will bring. No, the person will bring it.
The moment I hear it will come, I know there's something else to it. It'll come. But you know, we've got just today's 7 more days to start the 30th anniversary celebration.
Yeah.
Today, 7 more days to go. Ejabo. Hey. Obi abafo say you can say 30th anniversary.
Aka 7 days pay.
Nyame hu. Nyame hu pa. No, nyame hu. Ha. Nyankopon. What we pay nkakra 30 years behind us, a new chapter ahead. Is there 30 years? We're going to put the 30 years behind us. Yes. We're going to start a new chapter ahead. Prayer, prepared, invite, expect, and come with expectation. We'll check here your 30th anniversary banner today on all our social media handle. It talks about 30 years behind us and a new chapter ahead. We'll pray, prepare, invite, expect, and come with expectation. 7 more days to go. Now, nyame ashenuhu enyumunyam, nyame ayebi. That's how far the Lord has brought us. A season of expectation. I mean, 1 week more to go. 1 week. We have reached the final 7 days of our countdown to the Maranatha Power Ministry International at 30. 30 years behind us. A new chapter ahead. And this is a time to remember God's goodness, but also to prepare our hearts for what God wants to do next. Don't approach this anniversary as just another event. No. Come with expectation. Come believing. Come ready to worship. Come ready to give thanks. Come ready to encounter God. There is still more that God wants to do. It's gonna be something, you know. I just can't wait. I just can't wait. I just can't wait. But Charlie, it involves a lot of work. And the kudos to all the guys putting their heads together to make sure that we succeed with this one. Just as we did with the leadership. Oh, this one will give it a top notch. Now I'm gonna have some more talking with you, the team here as well. And then, all right, the Nyamiasi for how far he's brought the ministry. And for me, that is the key thing. How far the Lord has brought the ministry is what I'm looking at. And then what all of us will have to champion and make sure, say, well, we'll be going for our quick break, but before we go for the break, let's turn our attention to look at the weather and it's update what is happening this morning. How is the weather like? When we come back, there's a more conversation we're going to have, but I want to ask you to stay with us. Got a lot of conversation coming up this morning. My name has always been El Samuels, and I will be with you. I'm the captains on the bridge this morning. I'm the commander-in-chief. And I'm taking my saddle with my troopers. Ndori, Miss Ndori, I do say. Now, and then to me, feel the way now. I Bobby, me, my cooker to me and Vivian. Oh, Charlie, also the era, the young couple.
I will be me home.
And then young couple. Oh, Debbie. Hey. And today they see how is the weather like? Weather no so day.
Okay.
Answer na obeko weather no. Ma main ma aqua. Uni aqua. Okay, Arnold. Mr. Aqua.
Okay.
Mr. Aqua, I am ready to me send no. You know. Na mama no the captions are obey you so am I anope or I wild. They are quite wild anope papa. Because anope common a bit emu hem and common more dead. Oh, once and come nipa ni utwa kra na ye oya. Aha, I say a shoe be that sort of thing, you know what I mean by that.
Yes.
As was me on the dead. Unya nkobe come ade achi. And no say na be to kako. They are power soon. Cause me on jojo. All right, so take us away this morning.
Okay, so this morning, according to the Ghana Meteo Agency, mist or fog patches are expected to form over parts of the coast, forest, and mountainous areas during the early hours of the day amidst mostly cloudy conditions. A few places within southern Ghana may experience light rain or drizzle from this morning and the afternoon. And also, sunny weather with occasional cloudiness will prevail over parts of the country as the day progresses. However, thunderstorms or rain are likely to affect parts of the middle, transition, and northern sectors during the afternoon and evening hours. So now, for the temperatures for today, the coastal areas have a minimum temperature of 23 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 29 degrees Celsius. Moving to the forest areas, the minimum is 22 degrees Celsius with a maximum of 30 degrees Celsius. For the transition areas, temperatures range from a minimum of 22 degrees Celsius to a maximum of 31 degrees Celsius. And in the northern areas, we have a minimum of 24 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 32 degrees Celsius. And the Ghana Meteo Agency also notes that relatively cool night and early morning temperatures are expected across the country. So this is the weather outlook for this morning.
All right, so Thank you so much, Francisca, for bringing us up to speed with the out. But let's go look for the temperatures across the entire country for each of the towns and cities across Ghana. All right, so that is the weather and its update. I just gone by with Francisca Afrakuma and Tori. So it's what? FAO.
Yes.
Well, as Ghana wakes up, thousands of people make their way to work, school, and also other destinations. Let's check out the road. This is your morning focus traffic watch. It's now time to bring you the traffic watch for motorists in Accra. And we're monitoring the major commuting routes, including the N1 corridor, George Walker Bush Highway, Kwame Nkrumah Motorway, Graphic Road, Ring Road, Spintex Road, Medina Adenta Corridor, Kaswa, Accra Stretch, and Tema Motorway Corridor. So if you're traveling through areas experiencing congestion, consider leaving early or using alternative routes where possible. For motorists around Kumasi, pay attention to the major entry and exit corridors in the central business district, particularly during the morning peak. In Takoradi, commuters should also monitor congestion around the major commercial and industrial route. For Tamale, the major artillery roads and approaches into the city may experience increased traffic as the morning commute builds. Across Cape Coast, Koforidua, Sunyani, Ho, and other regional capital, motorists should allow additional travel time around the schools markets, the transport terminals, and busy intersections. Remember, traffic conditions can change quickly. Don't rush, don't overtake dangerously, and don't allow the pressure. You know what I mean by pressure? So you could see the traffic build up in the areas already, telling you what to expect. And you could see some of the, you see the paparazzis and what they do. You see the paparazzis and what they do. They are giving us so much headache this morning. So we're looking at the alternative routes you need to use as your traffic situations, and also the alternative routes you need to use within the city. We're bringing all the aspects, and you're seeing how the city is building up in the major various city detail of it. We'll bring you the details as you see on your screen. So it tells you what to expect and then where to reroute your vehicles. Don't overspeed and also don't overdo things. So the Kaswa, Weja, Malam, Kaneshi, Odoko, Kwashimambu, and then Odoko, Kanishin, major Accra routes in Accra. Alternative, Kaswa, Ninyano, Botiano, West Hills, Malam routes where your destination permits. Avoid unnecessary entry into the main Malam Kanishin corridor during the peak congestion. George Walker Bush, N1, Malam Achimota in Sawam Road. Watch the Malam Awoshin Achimota approaches. Alternatives, use the Awoshin Pokwase corridor for destinations, and also Amasaman Pokwase and part of the northwest Accra. For Medina Adenta Dodo, a heavy commuter movement during the morning. Alternative, where appropriate, use the Legon Hacho Atomic side and connect through the relevant local routes rather than remaining on the main Medina Adenta corridor. For those applying the Tetakwashi 37 Airport Liberation Road, expect some significant morning movement around the interchange and also airport area. Alternative airport area, commuters can consider the airport bypass or the graphic road side approaches depending on the destination. Sprinters' major points include the Sprinters Road, the commercial areas, and the connection towards the motorway. Alternative, use the Flower Port East Legon American House connection where suitable. The Tema motorway Tetakwashi, commuters traveling from the Tema towards Accra should allow extra time. The N1 or the motorway remains the principal corridor, so there is no single alternative capable of replacing it for every destination. Motorists entering from Kaswa, Tema, Medina, Adenta, and Sprinters, give yourself extra time this morning. If your destination allows it, consider the secondary routes we have mentioned rather than joining the busiest corridor unnecessarily. Kumasi, the current traffic source check show no alternative in this selected zone. Although normal peak hours connection, key areas, Swame, Central Kumasi, Kwadaso, Santasi, Ahunjo, Tafu Swame, Asukwa, Ahinsain, Bantama, Edum, Edriso, Kumasi, Sofo Line, and Buakwa, Forikrum, KNUST, those are there. And the alternative is Swame, Central Kumasi, Edriso. It remains corridor slows considerably. In Kumasi, we are monitoring the major approaches into the city, so we'll keep you updated. And that is our traffic situation for this morning across the major cities in the country. Remember, the whole Central Accra Road, whole Hohoi, Adaklu Junction approaches for those of you in the whole and its enclaves. So that is the situation now on our major roads. We go for a quick break. When we return, we'll bring you some other conversation. Please don't go away. All right, so welcome back from the quick break. Our first break for the morning is now time for us to turn our attention to look at our African wisdom from the MBN Morning Focus, the African wisdom for this morning. It says, the drum sounds differently when it is empty. The drum, it sounds differently when it's empty. When a drum is empty, it sounds differently, right?
Yes.
What are the sounds that it gives? Tell me about that.
Echo.
It gives echo, okay. One, it gives echo.
Yes, it gives echo. And then, all I know is when the drum is empty, only echo that you'll be hearing.
You don't hear good sound.
No, you don't hear
It gives you a very bad sound.
A very bad sound.
Well, so this is the African proverbs for this morning. The drum sounds different when it is empty. What does it mean for us as a people? Our African proverb says the drum sounds different when it is what? Empty. A drum can be loud, but loudness does not necessarily mean substance. And there is a lesson here for politics, governance, and even our personal finances. For today's Monday, we're looking at finances. We live in a world where promises can be louder than results. Political speeches can be powerful. Campaign messages can be convincing. Economic projections can sound impressive. But eventually, the question becomes, what is inside the drum? What has actually been delivered? Have jobs been created? Have businesses become stronger? Have public service improved? Are households living better? Because leadership should not be judged by how loudly it speaks, but by what its actions produce. And perhaps that is a challenge for all of us this morning. Less noise, more substance, fewer promises, more measurable results. Do I need to mention it again? I said perhaps this is a challenge for all of us. Less noise, more substance, fewer promises, and more measurable results. That is a challenge we need to give to ourselves today, and wishing ourselves so well. A very good morning to all of you out there. It's now time to look at what is on the front burner for this morning. Front burner for this morning. What is on it? For this morning, we're going to look at the front burner, and then we expect that you also contribute to the front burner this morning. What was one of the things that happened over the weekend? Or the weekend was something else. Tell me, there's a lot of things that went on over the weekend. Before you go into bed, you have one thing that struck you over the weekend?
No, nothing really. Just
Dawenya was cool.
yes, Dawenya is always cool.
Yeah, Dawenya.
Because it's a new site.
It's a new site, it's always
It has
cool.
old and then new site. So we are the new site.
Yes. Exclusive, right?
Yes.
Exclusive, right?
Yes. Yes.
So those of us who lives in the other side, we are old people.
Yes.
Oh, Jehovah. And that brings us perfectly to our first major conversation. This is the front burner. The politics of accountability. Who takes responsibility when government policies fail? I said a policy of accountability. That's our front burner topic for the morning. Who takes responsibility when government policies fail? When government introduces a policy and that policy does not deliver the promised results, who takes responsibility? Is it the president? Is it the minister responsible? Should technocrats carry the responsibility? What about parliament? And what role should political parties play? Perhaps the biggest question is this: can we build a political culture where admitting that a policy has failed and is not seen as a political weakness, but as responsible leadership. 053-715-8638 is the numbers. Can we build a political culture where admitting that a policy has failed is not seen as a political weakness, but as a responsible leadership, telling the people, look, I promised A, I couldn't do it. Does it show weakness or does it show leadership? Can we get to that level? Because that is why I'm saying that the political accountability, who should take responsibility when government policies fails? That's our front burner question for this morning on 053-715-8638. Why not ever take blame? Namo is a new ke government ke must stop galamsey. Ni etenia ehoni enye stop galamsey. Ani oba blame president there. Allo minister na ke ekweje na ka sector. Allo technocrats men meka mele alewolo. Wa abanya fe ni bi ni galamsey. I'm giving an example. If the government promise again, you stop galamsey. What role should political parties play? Perhaps we are asking, can we build a culture where admitting or by from academia work over any office when you're warfare? Does it show like a warfare? A low issue of weakness. And the pay me besides some back of it. Say, you go campaign near promises and near bad bam. My mom, for example, if I see galamsey between me, Jack, she say between me, trust corruption will be a thing of the past. The Betty ABC, the ABC, the BG, Sika. Now, you to me and ya. Do when you're holding responsible president and now say, Minister of the truth, sir, I saw you. And now, technocrats, in the form was department near in the warm show. And also party member out so we can't see which me was me to me. The promises and get to go for me into me. And then the question you be a very simple one, isn't it? And it also be to me the agreeing to so who do we hold responsible? Is it the president? Is it the minister responsible? Should technocrats carry the responsibility? What about the parliament? And what role should political parties play? Can we build a culture, a political culture, where admitting that a policy has failed is not seen as a political weakness, but as a responsible leadership? Also, Uncle, this one boy.
President.
I'm not the president, no. I also the boy 053-715-8638. Your front banner question is you dare to pay. Also, between the Nigerian travelers, whilst waiting for your calls on 053-715-8638. Now, slide. Where was the slideshow?
Sure.
Can you slide on the phone? That's why. 053-715-8638. Now, MCR most numbers don't to screen also. MR your phone now one why? 053-715-8638 and numbers now also over to me after actually why when you first bono idea can see bit me so you ba me to me also Mvambo president I don't know Mvambo president
if a falaya idea you machine the call the mama na ya ko kan dia falaya the president who no ye
so omo opposition no can say you be dealing with the Katachi, so you dealing with galamsey, you be cocoa for price, you be 2 more, you be saying you are Bemukran, you be 8,000. Now you buy a to me, and you know. You treatment before say yin to me, and yet. Doesn't show say a weakness, and it shows leadership.
It shows leadership.
It shows leadership. About this one, my Mvambo minister, no?
Baby.
Mvambo.
Because I was so one minister, no?
And also, over to minister between the national.
Oh, say, can you know so, and one
so supervisor, no? But the point is that more opposition, so much ABC. When you first born, that's the question we are asking this morning.
President.
What do you do, my president? Okay. So that's our front burner question this morning. I want to be to me the what danger as when a government introduces a policy and that policy does not deliver the promised results, who takes responsibility? Is it the president? Is it the minister responsible? Should technocrats carry the responsibility? What about parliament? And what role should political parties play? Can we build a political culture where admitting that a policy has failed is not seen as weakness, but as a responsible leadership? Or you can send us a message on WhatsApp or SMS on the same number on the screen. But when you call us, please make sure the volume of your TV set is down. It's Monday, the 24th day of August 2026. Now, whilst waiting for your call, let's quickly run through the day's news headlines. Let's run through the day's news headlines as quickly as possible, and then we can share that thought with you as quickly as possible. Let's do the news headlines. News headlines also as quickly as possible. Let me start with the first newspaper this morning. Let's have a quick pick at the news headlines, the various headlines on the various newspapers, so you can get it and then also tailor the story behind those headlines. So let me start with the business and financial. Or you start first?
Start first, then I follow.
Okay, so let me start with the Business and Financial Times. Since today, Monday, we are looking at finance, and let's start with the Business and Financial Times. It has a feature story that says shaping organizational performance and profitability through strategic leadership. Then he has UBA appoint Linda Quaynor as the first female board chairperson, is also there. Government weighs lifting grain export ban amid 70,000 metric tons rice glut, is also there. Mansour gains SEC sandbox approval as to existing BOG credentials in the security side. The economy, strong GDP growth marked decades-long productivity decline. Then I think that one of the stories on the economy where robust investor confidence in economy returns as local investment hit $816 million US, FDI's $2.62 billion US. Headlines on the Business and Financial Times.
Away from the Business and Financial Times, we move to the Daily Analyst. Kakun Forest Reserve, wildlife guard shot dead. Ghana to reverse 70% medicine imports through 24-hour economy. Gordon Asari Bediapo withdraws from NPP communications race, endorses Dennis Miracles Abuaji. Deputy Health Minister calls for China partnership to build Ghana's health manufacturing capacity. Lands Minister changing the face of mining industry, and this is coming from spokesperson details progress. Alleged extortion. Afenyomarkin threatens legal action. These are the headlines on the front page of the Daily Analyst.
All right, so moving on, we do the Insight newspaper. The Insight has this headlines: Mahama rescues Ademos resources. Grants 12-month reprieve instant with Lands Ministry. Remember that the banter going on at Ademos Resource Limited plant site. So the president has called for some respite in there. The president, headed by The government headed by President John Dramani Mahama has given the Berald local mining entity Ademos Resources Limited a reprieve, directing the company and relevant state institution to develop a 12-month roadmap to turn around the operations of the mines. The directive follows a meeting at the presidency on Friday, August 21st, aimed at resolving the dispute between the government and Ademos Resources and guarding one of Ghana's few operating indigenous large-scale mining. Under the agreement, the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources and the Minerals Commission, Ademos Resources, are to prepare the road map. Those are the excerpts of that story. Concerns mount over demolition of Ayalolo Kimbo Terminal for Styles. A growing concern have emerged over the management and the use of the key Ayalolo Transport Terminal in Accra, with urban transport stakeholders warning that development at the facility established to support the city's urban transport system could soon undermine efforts to improve public transportation and reduce congestion. The concern centers on the Kimbo Terminal in Accra Central Business District, CBD, and then also the reported demolition at the Achimota New Station. Except from that story, had the local government minister designate Mahama Ayariga. Mahama calls for 5 permanent UN Security Council seats for Africa. Africa must take ownership of its AI future. Ama Pratt. Then we have the final Osu Plantain Mine supports Cross-Rim initiative to provide education. So that is okay. I think one here. Valco new rolling mills open new frontiers for value aluminium production. So Inside has this banner headlines for this morning.
Moving on to the Ghanaian publisher. I'm unfazed by the attacks. Afinu marking to critics.
I said I tin. I say Sami Yemfi Hukra. I said I'm not. Sami Yemfi Hukra, and then I Afinu marking. Also, one more critic on the no, rather, I as a union in
Adamu's U10 government flip-flop questioned. NPP elections, Ejako, miracles, and 48 other fake forms. Sanitation crisis. Chief of Staff calls for attitude change.
I'm over Sunday.
Yeah, best sanitation.
I said, a dynamic Namkroma young and ra. If you are sorry, Yamakuti preaching, yeah. In Kufia Corridor, I'm from say, Wale, I'm from Semi. Every meeting I make, I'm right here. I'm a fee. Bad more. Abijana kwan nchen enu numu nsuo no numu ne amamwe a omeja ayine pet no pa ne me so nana no so mu jina na me nti oye ami o behwe me am yesi pe na omo sese free na say there's a basket in the back if I go basket no mo if ye dedodo efi eye ado aye suni eba eye dedodo wo bebia na wo gina na ho no nsuo afa ona atacha ye ono na wo da pets na one ono hu say eni amede hwe na me yem so so
papa asembeto
no fam e da men ka brofo meka ni tui Now let's do the Daily Banner this morning. The Daily Banner says Mahama intervenes in Ademon's land ministry standoff, gives Ademos a reprieve. Sammy Gyamfi's strategy of insult, innuendos, fall flat. Or Sahini and Sammy Gyamfi there. God steps down, backs miracle. Politics of insult is uncivilized behavior. Asanteman Koka. Daily Banner. Headlines.
The Meridian. Probe Gold Board's 22 billion Ghana cedis losses. Minority. Backward death allegation. CK Zoka flees community over threats. Appeals for protection. Use only approved NPP communicators, and this is coming from Asanteman Koka, and he's telling the media.
He tells the media.
Yes, telling
that they should provide the people.
Yes.
Now they should provide the people. And we should go look for your. Just give us a list of your communicators. We can call on them at any point in time to use them or deploy them on a daily basis by your own outfit, so that we don't get this conflict and stuff. The Daily Guide said Afoko files MPP National Chairman nomination Tuesday. Reverend Wengam re-elected AG Ghana General Superintendent. Then you have some men at the front page of the Daily Guide. 50 battles for MPP top posts. Mahama rescues Ademon's resources. That story is also where SC affirms selective vacation seating. Dismiss injunction. Daily Guide.
On the front page of the Republic Press, Gold Board loses 22 billion Ghana cedis question hunts NDC as party turns guns on Afenyo marking. Supreme Court clears way for legal vacation criminal trials. Dismisses upon Nkrumah's injunction bid. 50 battle for NPP National Executive post. On the same front page, soldiers assault 26-year-old man at Chebi. Nursing mother dies at Insoko Hospital over alleged oxygen shortage.
That's a sad one there, right?
Yes.
Very sad one there. Say
oxygen shortage.
Ade. Procurement unit no way ade.
Yeah, some. But back been so I think. Some assemblies collecting fees at Galamsey sites. Ken Ashigbe alleges.
Assembly say eba neko. Yen Supreme newspaper has John Boydu takes early lead in MPP chairmanship race. With John Boydu, the front page of the Supreme newspaper. Cleanliness is everyone's responsibility. Leaders renew call for national sanitation action. Clean Conference 2026. Afoko files nomination for MPP national chairmanship on Tuesday. Asanteman Koka urges Ashanti media to engage only approved MPP communicators. And I'm saying, give them the name. They're not going to give them the name that these are the approved people to speak. Their concepts, no. Council of State member was U.S. billionaire investor for Volta Region Investment. Mahama intervenes in Ademo's land ministry standoff and gives Ademo's time. We also have the CK Zoka fleece. Last minister changing the face of mining industry. All the stories can be found in the Supreme newspaper.
The Inquisitor. Compensation for road construction. Abuja wants surveyors. AU chairmanship. Mahama receives 5 reports ahead of 2027 Senate. Afenyo Markin threatens legal action against extortionist allegation. TCDA boss Ashanti Minister Confer. Stories on the Inquisitor.
Now let's do the New Crusading Guide. The New Crusading Guide, Sagleme outcome vindicates NPP private sector housing strategy upon Nkrumah. Clean Conference leaders renew call for national sanitation action. A Focal Files nomination, that story is also here. Council of State member was US billionaire, investor for Volta Region Investments. Let's work together to protect the media freedom. Asante Makoka to journalists. Adang Traditional Councils suspends 4 members for 2 years. Oh, Ghana Maritime Authority gets to work following Bahamas Kingston Directive. Stories. The headlines are on the New Crusading Guide, and you can get the stories behind the headlines.
The Informer also has Minority House Gold Board CEO before Parliament over $1.7 billion loss controversy pushes for live broadcast. Don't let religious tensions destroy Ghana's peace, Mahama warns clergy. Bawumia unites NPP for 2028 victory. Gold Board's losses must capture 2 billion Ghana cedis tax revenue. Police Center. 22 billion Ghana cedis loss. Afenyo Markin fires back at Gold Board. Ghanaians asked for figures, got insults. Mahama saves Adamu's resources, gives company amnesty to operate under new arrangements. Interior Minister gets tough, bans lovey-lovey, police TikTok videos and on-duty social media content. Stories on the
Mr. Lover, Lover. You know that song? Mr. Lover, Lover. Shaggy.
Hey.
That says get tough. Lovey, lovey.
Lovey, lovey.
Lovey, dabby. And lovey, dabby. You know, police TikTok videos and on-duty social media content. It's a bonnet. Mr. Lover, Lover. I ever say, visibility for. I'm going to ask you, Obeshe phone so sa. Obeshe phone so sa. Near because to be on whom.
Oh, she.
Ya dear. Hey, ya dear. Yes, you go Juma. Ubon when you come home. Ya dear. No more videos. No more go more when you must so count.
Police when the home baby.
Oh, and you cry, and now interior minister, and he gets tough on him. Lovey, 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 lovey. You know, lovey, lovey.
Yeah.
Oh, you know it. Oh, okay.
It's love. Oh.
Yeah.
Love.
Okay, you let me do. Let me do the Chronicle newspaper this morning. A Focal Files chairmanship paper. Morrow. Extortion claim against Afenyo is false. Mama Pat says so. Proverbs 12:19. The truthful lips shall be established forever, but the lying tongue is but for a moment. So that's the Chronicle has the stories, and then you do the graphic.
Yes, I'll do the daily graphic. Says tertiary businesses since challenge. 6 universities secure national semi-final bid. Let's win sanitation fight together. Chief of Staff urges collective action.
We want to win the war against sanitation. But the fundamental thing is this. What are the things we put in place to be able to win this war? All we have taught the Ghanaian person that waste is dump. It's not wealth. So we now have to reorient the minds of the Ghanaian people that, look, waste is not dump, it's wealth. Now let's teach people how to do segregation. Now let's also get a plant that can do the recycling. When we get to this level, then you can win this war. Now this is why Then we leave the things on the shoulders. Yes, some baby kaka, we leave the things. Yes, it's also it's also another thing. So how do we win this war? It's a common thing. Set up the recycling plants that can handle various aspects of the waste, which is wealth, which can create jobs. Sanitation alone can absorb that 2 million young people who are just doing the weed and doing the cocaine and just sitting on the TikTok and the lobbies and stuff that they are doing. At least a bit minimizing. Somebody we are one in the real band and say, oh no, sorry, when you be good, we're not tuning some quasam. On into the Subano, no, the buyer, no. I know, so to train a cry, a bomb for you crusade to cry, see or not. But on my canon, at least 199 correct. At least you lazy bones, kakra you. But at the end of the day, it will minimize. Well, sanitation alone can absorb that 2 million young people now. You see, youth no money age my and what's now either now at 1 minute to trust them. Okay, we die. Okay, we are getting to cop up bina on senior. We see a pa and num for 3. We see. When I'm walk around, won't take it up a fenty. So mean pay we see. Oh, she had their crambe. And I say, oh,
we say the
every washing rack a crow would danger cry danger.
A danger.
It's not a good thing to be doing. When I saw the you know. Chief of Staff, you want us to win this war together? That is the simplest thing we can do is to learn how to do the segregation, how to be cultured by people, how to tell people you don't just throw things away. Penny pan, one dress of fine, I'm more tight, crow bag. Now I talk I told you what no more about it. Oh, yeah, to one more boss. And I'm gonna when you move. My ferry, I'm a bit fancy church room called Monsieur. And I'm just a no, my ferry man. Hey, oh, when he was no, when he was who you who fee? Where did he? Na rabba watch have many people the pa.
We did do a rabba so.
And then when you I'm say coffee ni ye dua no didi no we da chance no we be esi o oh unyen
ni did we pe no
me wa also from so a gentleman a cultured lady when you die and fatal why yama every fear you know be so ye fi it is our address no be account no go bo wako high lawyer bo enim am fancy over the pons and a pancake
pons pons
oh mo bo that's what you be
me ye
I mean financial time and business and finance
we no ensign you kakao
wow yes idea no wow yes idea eh jai stop it any boo akwa catch am say any boo and I was we be any when jai say idea no yanko
I say Ghana now spends less than 20% on servicing debt.
Hey.
Reverend Wengam re-elected. Reverend Wengam re-elected Assemblies of God General Superintendent.
No. It's Reverend Wengam re-elected Assemblies of God General Superintendent. He was there. They've retained him. To be there, he's a very good man. He's a good man, you know.
Yes.
He's a good man. All right, so let's do the graphic business this morning. 23 banks, $1, many prizes. Oh, and that's what because I say many I Ghana where sometimes we miss. Yeah, Ghana, yeah, more. 23 banks, $1 no. Okay, banks 23 no be akita the price.
Different price.
And I make be akita the price. I like the caption. 23 banks, $1, many prizes. Bank-to-bank rates differences exposes customers to varying FS costs. Hey! I'm a bank running a chichiri. When of your way name? Nyakea. Oh, UGBS beat UEW to reach the TBSC semi-final for the 4th straight year. GRA deepens use of data and analytics to boost revenue mobilization. Where they say, some can say, near what's up by motion here, what we need to do to be able to get a lot of the informal sector and what support are we giving them to make sure that we are bringing them to the formal sector level. What's but we are not thinking about how we can scale our people to the formal sector, from the informal to formal sector, remove those bottlenecks and stuff like that to allow them space, groom them, help them, how they can even attract some finance to support the businesses and bring them. We don't have any plan. And the data. Yes, idea. No. The robots aren't coming for your jobs. They are coming for half of it. Graphic business.
The Ghanaian Times. Nation attracts $2.62 billion FDI in 2025. Manufacturing leads investment drive. Minister orders police to crush illegal security groups. Reverend Wengam rallies church behind growth agenda after landslide victory. Gment warns of funding crisis over GCAA areas.
No GCAA in society no more than Fatawa. Now, Moon Crawford is sick among some of the monomaters and co bidian come out as a waste is in a hangar. My is Munkonamo Chisicano. Ghana Civil Aviation. Stop that thing and then go and pay the Ghana Meteorological Agency. Go and pay them their money. It's long overdue. Ubianka Mosuma Jenny Hanga. Ubianka Mosuma more close in the Namun Jive concert. No. Stop the concert. Go and pay and let them work and give us good accurate for the weather.
Minority seeks full reconciliation of IMF Gold Board accounts. Stories on the Ghana.
As some way, it's very interesting time, you know. This Gold Board IMF report. Now, when you look at the report over the weekend, I spent some time to go through the report. The report is just saying, okay, this is how the whole thing is. Gold Board is an entity, an institution of government who does business for. They did some business for the Bank of Ghana. Okay? And during that business, there were some losses that came in. Be it valuation, be it reselling, and there was a loss. But the loss was not attributed to Gold Board. It was attributed to the person. It's when Vansa Mamuska for top. You can get money. The best supply, you can get supply me beans $100. Gary $100. The coming in will be $100. Oh, but only 85 bucks in the buy. What you say? And now my calculations will say, me my book. And to me books tomorrow. 15% in my book. What you say? Say more 100 cedis. And I will supply not my 85% of the 100 cedis. When the 85 cedis. And I book up 15 cedis. And then I ask them no. And I banter no. And no, yeah, near me be bro, I see you. And no, me, if you ask me personally, I believe that we should find out how did this come about? How do we deal with it? Because in those transactions, all these things will come up. How do we deal with this transaction so that at the end of the day, we can minimize the volumes of the amount of money that is being trashed out. But instead of this, with the ban now we're using running extortionists and this up, you know, I said, no. Zakwadani NDCMP. So you now can get the substance of the matter. In the auditing, it is not sitting in the books of the Gold Board. It's sitting in the books of the Bank of Ghana. This is the thing, no? But almost just say, when the cocoa D say that, I said, someone here, they born also. I don't know, so mean, Tia says, someone this house, someone in the body. Not what I need at him. Yeah, Mobonia may be high. We any idea here, you know, you won't talk very simple. Anyway, so these are things we can deal with easily without even thinking. How do we, for me, what should be the way out? Because if transactions, we are incurring debts, we are incurring losses, how do we deal with it to minimize it? It's simple. Yeah. So we team were coming, I don't understand also. Simple. For political expedience, for political points, the Ghana we want. Okay, I'm here Daybreak. Daybreak says the Ghanaian Muslims attack in Mali. Oh, no distraction. African American minority sustained heat on $1.7 billion gold loss. Why celebrate 2.62 billion FDI? Lose 1.7 billion under the domestic gold program. It's a big question. Oh, some American. Now, we are celebrating 2.62 billion FDI. Meanwhile, you know, under the domestic gold program, we have lost 1.7 billion. This is where our worry should be. It's not say this institution has done that. This is where our worry should be. How do we minimize this figure? What are the things we did wrong that got us to this level? What are the things we should be looking at going forward? I bet Adani NDCMP cook for football. Juma idea or no? It's a shame. If I'm from the next one, why?
Echo the national voice. Sami Jimfi's PR machine struggled to deflect 22 billion Ghana cedis Gold Board losses. Let's work together to protect your safety. Asanteman Kokatu, journalist. From Scansem to Airbus. The international corruption trial that keeps hunting the NDC.
What are they saying? The international corruption tale.
Yes. No, trial.
The trial, yes. That keeps what?
Hunting the NDC. Yes.
Yes. Trial and sign up paper naka.
Sign up paper naka. Say trial be hunting NDC for.
Hunting a ghost. I don't go for through some.
Me promise for some.
What was some of that?
You was some. I
know.
Baby, I'm mama say. Someone will like someone will one day.
No, the point is that you see, nipa be what do you say? And who now must I just a bit me. Nipa no know the and then they will be through a phone.
Nipa who was sick, they know where home, me know where.
No, for what?
Do nice to see America.
Oh, the man in the Ukrainian fa. What's in Shishan and women on sorry. Go to the car away. Yes, meanwhile, when we moved down the what's on the Mujane? One boss say, who fear?
Who say, who is nice? Who say, yeah.
I okay movie.
Someone
movie.
Movie.
Oh, damn it.
Oh, but at least well.
There's some movies in there. Daddy. What a chamber cramming. Let's go in the chimpo. Oh, I didn't. Let's go in the chimney. Oh, summer. You go get summer.
You share some movie near for that, Jack. Can you done your malite out?
The Daily Statesman has the stories that Galamsey destroyed over 100 acres of farmland. Coca calls for decent language on Ghana's airwaves. Corn, Saglemi progress, proves NPP got private sector model right. Personal attacks won't distract us. Minority insist on parliamentary probe into the gold board losses. Afoko to file nomination for MPP chairmanship tomorrow. Biani, Echina. Wo. I'll be filing.
Daily Democrats. 24-hour economy is about economic transformation. Busi Tano. Egyptian ambassador commends Ghana arm wrestling team. President Mahama intervenes in Adamu's land ministry standoff. Gives Adamu's reprieve. Honorable Dr. Kingsley Ajiman donates medical equipment and settles patients' bills at Chebi Government Hospital. President Mahama's Kingston directive spurs action at GMA.
The Ghana Medical?
Yes.
That's one association, right?
Yes. Yes. GMTF. Atlantic Life Sciences partner to cut drug costs. Stories on the Daily Democrats.
The Daily Gist. Afinia Markins head back at critics. Says 1.7 billion gold loss must be probed. Vows legal action against attacks. 50 pick forms to contest 9 MPP executive positions. I'm ready to go to jail for Baumia, Reverend Kusi Boateng. Afoko files nomination forms for NPP chair on Tuesday. Saglemi. MPP's private sector model vindicated. Upon Nkrumah. I remember when the MPP said they want to go private sector, it became a battle. The opposition then fought it. And now one more cotton. And one person one more tongue, and almost is a tongue. But then, at the end of the day, the current government has given it to a private sector to root the whole thing. So, what do we do to ourselves? Why? Okay, let's move on.
The custodian, Saglemi. NPP vindicated on private sector model. And this is coming from Opon Nkrumah. Ghana signs 163 million euro. Is it euro or
euro?
Yeah,
euro.
163 million euro debt restructuring deal with Belgium. Minority vows to probe 22 billion Ghana cedis gold trading laws. Dismisses diversionary extortion claims. Chief of Staff, others call for clean environments. 50 seek 11 NPP national executive positions. Gordon quits NPP comes director race. Endorses miracles Abuaji. Stories on the custodian.
So Gordon has decided to quit and back in miracles. Okay.
Yes.
Now let's find our newspaper this morning. That after this newspaper, we trek down to Bedford Chrome. We join Abna Bio. Will bring you Edu Heba from Mankasim Bedford Chrome. The news center say Amankwa solves Commonwealth Hall water crisis. It has the couples on the front pages of the newspaper. The news center says you see the picture of Afoko John Boydu Ejako. Miracle Abuaji smiling, Nana B, and then Nana Akumia on the front pages of the news centers. A 50 picks form 11 position. 29.1 billion gold Ghana cedis gold losses in 4 years. The role of gold board and BOG explained. Dr. Sarkodie, questions a 2 billion gold board tax weaver? Right. So that's also another question out there. We go for that. It brings us exactly 8:30 in the morning. We're going to Befi Chrome. When we track back, we go for our commercials at 8:50. Stay with us.
Tony. Dr. Du Muhammad say me nka SM Francis say nyame nhyira wo bia. Nyame nye obi bia kese. Na said de enne me ba me dofo all kan abusua. Ya dia bronya tumi ansa Dr. Du baya wa besa. Dr. Dwe yenye udeni adek yese nkwa sombo onkwa som yebo anita busa asambiters every edu herbal hospital anna era number to do so edebebo ade say yede sanya de a ewo sisie ni ntin ani nompemu ye nkoto dwemu ni atutu ase amafia ye damma wapomuden asipia sita na ye wia ye di bonus na atuato eno ne yesi ye di busu ye sister no tatase watenga no ewu kojo tro nyanyane no brim no asori gina wo enenti esan say enem betena ase ye di SM just na di mewuram because me do get na no tanya nyame aka SM abusan fa me TV so bi wo wan kom wo di get na no do so aka me the box empty box and everything TV so bel me da trade am point se wa mo akoma tom yi se me ntwenem ka se wi am age ne boko eniti abusan ye say e do baje watrema adanside nankasa na nam eno ntina medru ya na SM no obi apesa onje emfiri mensem na boat am ne ba kwampo driver no ko je nam se na no Thursday me ba obi je ene dem mo bi anje ana me de aba enenti me do foot say papa no also don't ask no kind o se water graphic am obi kenkan no mata no de gan kan ni nyina ma me ne mo kan ne brofum etimi da na betwi translation so I say SMBTS eyedre de abasa yede ba ama aware de amefie ayede ama enkodani age ekunu mu ani age ama yire no so ani age enne na atemi chemwi ame ma na SMBTS ba kufu 1 onfe nkofie na mewi ade etachire nyakata na betachire de ama no boko enye ni nyina ha kwa ho ene nti sa water graphic am obi kenkan na ye ho Mr. Odi kan ye no wo ye be ma entrance ma be ma mu na wona no abomatwo man na wona mo a sister bra wati mu sa de ni nkoyi apomude ni hosa woni oba no konhye mu a wuti mu se dodo aka to be ko wantimi akọ minute ade to so no kekekeke no wantimi SMBTS ye edru asa wono mu asa wo de no wo ko on say normal we na kata ko mo pa san na ete pa boko na SMB da be akọ pa so ati e class for yourself our classroom no anama wi a na for ba na ka say wo be mem obana ma fans enya de obe wi no ka cho say de we ye ni there bi ebusia so wi na obana ka say de ye tumi ye ni na kire say problem wo ho yade wo ho bibi wo nipadua ni mu a enko yie bibi wo osisi mu no ma enko yie o mema ye na ensipi entita na Dr. Du so say ensesa wotena se emma oba ejojo wo sa na ensesa wotena se ema be ma so obejojo oba so atiase emechi oba branet saminto na nyojo mi na enso de nko okwa me ba so mfi bia ma na beto aso eno na chese wadwuma no wa anya nwi eni ti Dr. Du say SMBTS oba anom be ma nom me pa chow unya 18 years ya enom wo your ba wa fafura enom wo breastfeeding so a enom why CS ya freyen number no go screen ni so natural months a wanya ansana ebe mo anoma ya ma wanom oba se ubu nsa na emeye menamei se boso me so na me bu nsa na se me ama nti se bibi ni na mo menti because menti pen bia eno na chese wo yoba enya de boso me ne so a abusua na obi di wada ne calendar o chese obetie ma ofie buo yansa na wakọ ne boss osa boso me asutua meka because the da wo be ye ne fie ho ne brono ne so no obi abehu say yes oboso me aso na ye ya so ene boso me na so nyati se wo tim onyati se wantimi ankwadwuma o we so dadem wo yare ene na boso me aso oni calendar o wada ne calendar madam emo bi fa na ne calendar wane dem boy aden bra SMBTS so say beboawo ama watimi abu nsaboko ama black cloth ni nyina anane abesia ko kama wonti etiam obi ampota wabu nsa so we oba na abu sana bi aba kama nkasa na ma feel comfortable wutim so wankasa no ohun yo de because se free ya ho besen kwa wona wotu so we yefu mu ayodin ohun ni padua ni mu ayodin because se eye ba na ebetom a e ma o sign no se ba na ebetom e ba betom ko fra abusunya nya easy won so na ma abofron Oni ama says what is into so rough not me say bo na ama eno wan hu say why ready say wo be wo eti no ma science na say wo de na nya ba na ebetom bosome mienu bosome miensa o message no emma e wo bran so a wonyem a abusua pe SMB test na no wo say ni na ba besane abese akọ ama ho ato afen so no say wonya o message from day 1 about 7 days afe to asokono na so tiba 6 days so tiba 5 days 4 days e wo so mo sa ho say dia aka na embae no e wo hefa aka ho aka wa ya ase ho enti e wo so no SMB test na enani moja SMB test na ni moja ebe na ne de aka ho na aya clotting na abbo ntonto a na ebe da ne fibroid ana se ebe ye bibi aya sisi aka wo wawudie nim no ebe na ne na afi ho ama na bese akọ na ho ato afi ona mo say yes odo say so boka say yes me oba afi ono yo oba na bese ofa nyinsan ya SMB test na ni moja no ama de sisi a wode na no akwan ni nyina bese ko wi a obi on say afi pa na dem na wa fa afro wa would not to me na say dem hadwin odo ba so kan so ba na be hadwin ofie and I know maybe so de ba to be ne ba ne ye nti asase said no akwa de to di within 2 months dem fi said Ebusia o wa about to me to atase SMB test nti e kasa na ani age because ye de ensese ebo ebi say ye adwuma kese adansi dia eba SMB test no do so enti na me kan farm on say to be ma o yire to be ma okun na entu ya de ase because mono mu a ye adwuma 15 butrim na ne na mo honam onam ye de wo do adwuma timi so wotimi de adwuma e wo abonten ko office atimi ye adwuma kama osisi ni mu atimi ya kama e clear pent na bibia wo osisi ni enu nkoto dwenim nyina firi wo woti adwuma yi ama ho ato na akodem so a eno ya friend side effect friend side benefit because no madro ni wi ado benya na ekire no eno kwambo na do so bonus no na ya na ede obi koto dia na wa nto so a what told you na tua ka bi no pento so wan to ne so ase da bi aduane ne menye eto so ka tuwa bi no eno na ka no bonus no so atiase to no SMB test ya bonus na ba de na che no ede so betimi ahama afa odem o so na bra kwa so je no yesi so ara o ma fans say yes wo be memu na edre abuso ya to agu o man ga na mu ha ba bia pharmacy shop bia benya bi herbal shop bia benya bi chemical shop bia benya bi koto SMB test na o kwa so social movement o spiritual movement o social media open the trendy and strong man me pacho shatter movement edoro na American wasem no simeso na American wasem no sincere me na American wasem no senior minister na American wasem no edra on man no akasa man ho fans when am to say yes what charge na anam and no empty number no that screen so me da for me say me see try me photo and I no papa be share mo so try me photo am on phone no so ayema ana the pacho delete it your number no time teacher photo abusia number nerika na 0558 379545 0558 379545 eno ye the filler according to Dr. Edu. Second number is 0201 044221 0201 044221. Last number is 0243 989368 0243 989368. Number 3 na me da fofra eba Edu Heba Hospital. Na ye no edi nkomo kan how chain wa boda bridge wukojo to me pacho frey nye no nkasa na Edu free Edu Heba Hospital ana eba ayaresa bia busuan yakwadare ewa yarehwa nya yaresa nyine mu ye tu stroke kwase emma obi a oyare stroke adahwache na obi a won se de Edu no na chi nyina yekro ya bo ne pampers ababa wa fedu ansore no yi pampers no ne ekọ no eho asem ana meka eni se stroke no ache nipa no ache wache no fa ne brain mankasim ba fikrom eho na headquarters no ewo abusuan odo mankasim station o ko ba fikrom obecho kawe fro na bra obedu wono ma abusuan ebe hwewo ama ode hye no ne ho ato no kama ye what ne nso emu ofe emu ode obedem say yes wo da fie wo da yare sabia nso asa wo djojo ho hotel ba bi because ya no VIP was ama normal was obewram nya fe na akọ yarefo a waba yare sabia na afi wo koja na no akosa lai amba cho ye ho ye nya sa wo wankasa o facility ne bibia ye intact o toilet and bath shem anything no bibia ye kama o change o patient ho a obi nyina wa wo hwo obi wonu ma just ye kofa enipa be time be salai won enim say de be ye change ne ho do da ne nchen o hu ne hu me pa cho Edu Heba Hospital ye ntisa ya ma obi ane what o so ene wo de usika ekuta won eho adwuma na ebe ya ma ho ene nti no medafo to be kafa nipa na ne ho atochema no bibi ha no fa ne brain wo edu ya ba hospital na Awurade andom ona doctor do so de nubra nua ha ban ene dua hini efa yade biada etu ase ene nti enya stroke kwa na yesa yade biada sente hye wa na ye wa eno de me boso because na no pani bi de ne ba bre me na me mani ba kwara nso me yam hye me uti mu se asma na wa ne ho ache but Awurade adom odu Heba hospital last week uti mu se ye stabilize ni we na bibia e kama edo no anopa me sorry ya na me sempacho mo to say osanyame adom efri na no e ba e ne Thursday no ma bim eyesa na afi me ho atom na me ho ayem de won se o ye adwuma wie na hu emfaso hu sade na ekona koyesa na ho aye wo de enya de wa ya wie na afi wo wi na yam hyehyɛ sade me e be fa na ayemfa edrebe ya na enye yi enya try and error ewo Edu Heba hospital ebusuafo ye ma wodro na ye de ensese ye boka se dro na de ma ya de ye ewo osu esu adro ni na wotwe asebetu na wotwe menu asebetu na wotwe miansa asebetu ampanso no ebedu wono na wanto wasori a okọ wuyi achia kwa ochia osimi machia na wokọ ba bi enne ya de bia etete wo emmema na mokọ dwaba mumu na nkwada hwere agire mumu na ye tisi so ewo mumu mepa mancho Edu Heba hospital edro papa ho no ma oba e beba ama ho acho me pa acho wo enya yaresa bia oba ye ma odo na ene kochina kobra ansa na waye o ye o machine sakase egu no mabusuan oba ye de be exam o efru trimesu nase ni on so yade na efri ya na eba e ha ene ha eje do we ni de be ma na ewia a emu
All right, so welcome back from that quick break. We went as far as Befikrom to bring you Edu Hebas and what they do at that point. It's now time for us to turn our attention to look at what's going on with us. We're having a conversation on our Literacy 101, and then we will turn our attention back into the studio. So if you just tune in, this is your morning focus, live and direct. The number is to call is 053-715-8638. We have some more conversation already. You can send us at WhatsApp messages or via SMS on 053-715-8638. The numbers you can send us a WhatsApp as well. We're looking at issues that has come up this morning. If you look at the porters, also reported different stories, mixed feelings of some other mentioning that has happened across the country. So we take your views this morning. MPP closes nomination with 50 aspirants vying for the 9 positions at the national level. So the MPP goes into that. Part of Accra, remember over the weekend there was a lot that happened where I dare finger marking to sue me over extortionist claim. Sammy Jemfi. Investigate alleged student defilement thoroughly and swiftly. The PTA of the Bogatanga Girls Senior High School has condemned the alleged sexual abuse of a 14-year-old girl student with special needs of the school. Government target $12 billion pipeline investment, $12 billion pipeline investment for jobs and production. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, baby. I'm Patrick to say within Baby of Refi.
Morris, neighbor.
Mr. Morris, you in 60 seconds, Yanko.
No pay. Yami, Brown. Na, maybe you are the and my honorable education. Ero, Ning, or Yomo, Ama Bosom, I am the chemical. Na, classic Nico, Hill, Echo Shame, and a more modern honorable contada. In the castle and some of the buy or marry. In the kind of say before or motive in Kachre and Okubuma, a tray and a cooking. The mammy back of studying to come in. No, or thou, mamma, to say, was another so my young for what on the afternoon. I say, you get the PPC, you are any dia, you swat on the afternoon. That is NBC policy. How many policy in the back? Down the back, and your man is to be a passport. But Nana had to buy a policy will be what may crack with one penny for 40 policy by a long time and first time education. For being young, but so Yama the same who Ghana. Now, one penny, mamma, and first coming to buy a being so and a brain. So they I can say something more with the coin. But where the young say, yes, you man paying a coupon to buy one more than we best say what is about the Kata. Where the MPP for more very idea. I didn't come here and then I'm also buy Yama. Then see a bit how. Now the old buy the two car. Oh, both and the back 3 years of your forte. The man, Boho, and the Boho away. I see now the bed away. What Catherine said, "Cow, but you have to the cocoa about this 6,000 and 7,000 by away." And floor. What Catherine never paid me for say. They say, over power mama 24 hour economy. One time just about the market. After the 24 hour economy, I done the market. Now, we don't want them to go back to Masia. Bank for me done tight. And this is your room. And I mean, over this hour. About the 24 hour economy. Just massive phone number can track. As far as your mama was the market. Market, you didn't say one I am. Who pay inside of the because carry your home fancy. The people see market, see 7 man boy to what? How did the 24 hour economy? After market to one. The Ghana, if you come one night, the war 7. You can't. Now will be up for more MP for a bro mobile the year. So be up the yard the bonnia, Oban Fana was one. And the end here said, Peter Nensensia, who can so well become the same funny boarding. As the first I met a woman. The gold somewhat came here about my for SS for trying tester, free, and then super for class SS. The same thing, and for all year, yes, that won't be a doom. Mama, why are you?
That's it. I will 053-715-8638. Numbers you can also join us. Share your thoughts with us. We're going to some major conversation with Oteng Amoako, who will be joining us later. We'll be talking with him to fine-tune ourselves what happened.
Good morning, sir.
Hello, good morning.
This is Timothy from Nalerigo.
All right, let's hear you.
Timothy.
PhD from?
Nalerigo.
Nalerigo.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, how's your place, boy?
Oh, we're fine, by His grace. How about you?
Hey, this 24-hour market, it's not easy to my questions to. Because they're supposed to do the right thing, they take it and do the politics, appoint the MC and other executive teams, know about the slave they can do it to help a lot of people there. Because they're supposed to do one action student market in one of the cities. That's the bigger market within the country. The first standard market, Kumasi, Accra, Burkina, they are counting the market in that place. But they send the two market to the one of the place. It's not even the market. They can get almost about 100 people in that market. So this current government, we don't have the people in the places. So we need to use some serious things. So once we do something, so that's my issue.
All right. Thank you so much for adding your
voice. Yes. Thank you so much.
053-715-8638. Now Larry is gone. Who comes in next? 053-715-8638. The numbers you can also join us. Let's have a conversation this morning. It's about Ghana. Like I promised, you'll be talking to Foster Oteng Amoako in a short while, trying to pick his thoughts on the happenings when it comes to us as a people. Anytime Monday, it's about savings and what have we been doing. That's what we're looking at. 053-715-8638. 053-715-8638. You can also join us. Let's get to hear your voice this morning. 053-715-8638. 053-715-8638. And numbers are also good to me. I do a drink today. A fossil. Now, yata wonka anopay. So that we can share it together. But whilst waiting for your calls, this one is a Parliament will today, Monday, August 24th, reconverge for a special sitting following a recall by the Speaker of Parliament, Alban Sumana Kingsford Baldwin. The recall comes less than a month after the House adjourned on July 31st, bringing members of Parliament back to the chamber to attend to what the Speaker has described as urgent parliamentary business. The Speaker exercises authority under Order 58-4 of the Standing Orders of Parliament, which empowers the Speaker to recall the House during an adjournment when circumstances require Parliament to resume. The decision is expected to allow the MPs to deliberate on matters considered too urgent to wait until next scheduled meeting or the sitting of the House. Parliament is expected to sit from today, Monday, August 24 through to Friday, August 28 during the recall period. The House is also expected to consider the nomination of Minister of State Designate for Local Government Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs, Mahama Ayariga, Minister Designate for Environment, Science and Technology, Senator Ajiman Rawlings. So these are the reasons Parliament will be sitting today. So Parliament is convention today through to Friday to attend to urgent matters. Bampo Addo's death to a major loss to organized labor, according to the authorities. The Fair Wages and Salary Commission has described the death of the Executive Secretary of the Civil and Local Government Staff Association of Ghana, CLOSAG, Dr. Bampo Ado, as a major loss to organized labor. So we crossing. I did promise that we'll be talking to our resource person in the person of Foster Oting Amwakun, the man who always helps us by educating us when it comes to our finances and what we need to do when, as a people, to be able to live a good life and not a life that at the end of the day you'll be crying. So to help us this morning, we'll be going to the line. We'll be talking with him. And I want to say a very good morning to you, Mr. Foster Oting Amwakun.
Good morning, my dear brother.
How are you doing, sir?
By the grace, I'm blessed in you.
Grace abound. I thank you for joining us today for our normal discussions, like we always do them, to our topics. And then today we will be looking at one particular topic, the debt trap. I call it the debt trap. Debt trap in the sense that most people find themselves in this bracket, and the difficulty to get out of it is also for a situation which people find it difficult for getting out. So we want to fine-tune ourselves as to what we need to do as a people when we find ourselves. So borrowing money has become a normal part of a modern life. People borrow to pay fees, start businesses, buy homes, handle emergencies, or simply make ends meet before payday. But when borrowing becomes a habit rather than carefully considered financial decisions, it can quickly turn into a debt trap. The real issue is not always whether you borrow, but why you borrow, how much you borrow, the cost of the loan, and whether you have the realistic plan to repay. So how can individuals use credit responsibly without allowing debt to take control of their income, savings, and future? That is what we want to look at this morning. So if you're ready, let me ask, what exactly is a debt trap, or how does someone gradually falls into one?
Thank you very much for the opportunity to discuss on financial issues. When you say somebody fall into a trap, it means that the person has found himself in an uncomfortable situation where it's difficult for the person to go out of it. For instance, there are who's been unaware he fall into it, getting up becomes difficult. So we fall into a debt trap where we have consistently been borrowing. So as we keep borrowing, the debt compounds. So it will compound to a state that the debt becomes unsustainable. In that instances, you fall into a debt trap. Recently, some school years back, Ghana as a country experienced these challenges where the country borrowed to the extent that our debt to GDP was around 70%. So because of the yield debt hanging on us in the country, the state was unable to do a lot of things that we expect the country to have been doing. So it's one of the stressful moments in the life of an individual, in the life of a country, fall into a debt trap. Once you get to this state, everything goes back home. You cannot do investment, you cannot do savings, you cannot have a better life, and what will make people happy in life, you are out of those things. So it happens to a country, happens to a company, happens to individuals. It's an uncomfortable situation that we do find ourselves. And it happens as a result of past bad financial decisions that were taken and the replications of the past bad financial decisions that will put somebody into a debt trap. And we need to, as a state, as individuals, as companies, plan activities well today, because the challenges we will go through in the future depends, the debt trap that we are likely to experience in the future depends on a bad financial decision that we take today. So whatever we do today, it has a financial implications tomorrow. That is why it is prudent, even if we have not handled financial situations well in the past, we should know that from now, any financial decision that we take, the bad one is have implications in the future against our finances.
Now, if one finds him or herself in that bracket where you've been trapped, how much of your monthly income should reasonably go towards the debt repayment?
Thank you very much. Before I go how much goes, I always maintain the fact that when you fall into a debt trap, there are some debts it has contractual agreement, and the its structure, its form, determine how much of your money that should go into servicing the debt. That is why it is better to actually look at the kind of debt, the kind of loans, the kind of borrowing you want to borrow. So even with that, if you don't borrow well, if you don't borrow from the right source, if you don't borrow actually understanding the terms of the borrowing, you may even have it that things may be tougher than you may think it should be. So to me, it is not about how much of your income can you go in the servicing of the debt that you find yourself. But the servicing of the debt will largely depend on the contractual terms of the debt. And whether you, if you breaking the contractual terms, your ability to discuss with them to see how best the debt can be spread. Like, because currently Ghana went into such a difficult period, so I want to use the country as a case. But when things became tough, we have to actually get in our bondholders, our debtors to agree on certain terms so that we will have some financial liberation freedom for the country to attend to that important aspect. So to me, where one found himself in a debt trap, the debt was borrowed from either an institution, a bank, or whatever the source. Try to just meet the source, have interactions with them, see how you can spread the debt so that going forward, you can have some higher percentage of your revenue where you can inject some into a productive venture.
Interesting. But here is a case that if someone has 5,000 in debt today, what practical steps should they take to regain financial control?
And the person agree.
Now, my question is, if someone has 5,000 in debt today, what financial steps should the person take to regain financial control?
Okay. It depends on the person's financial strength or the person's income. Somebody who is owing monthly about 50,000 Ghana cedis or 80,000 Ghana cedis. If the person owns 5,000 Ghana cedis, it means that how the person will be able to manage it will be different from somebody who earns a monthly salary of 2,000 and owing somebody 5,000. So it depends on the conditions and the income levels of the individual vis-a-vis the debt. So we have to look at the percentage of the debt compared to the percentage of the person's earnings. That will let us know how serious the debt is. But let's take the worst scenario where the person is owing maybe a monthly salary of 2,000 Ghana cedis, but the person also owns about 5,000 Ghana cedis. So it means that the higher percentage of the person's income will have to be channeled to payment of debt. And this is where the crisis lies. And in such a situation, the person must spread the debt in such a way that the person will have some financial freedom for it. And sometimes, where we find ourselves in such situations, the best way we do is to cut down certain basic expenses that we enjoy. So if your salary is 3,000 and you have a debt of 5,000, you cannot use even all your 3,000 to go and pay service the debt. But the debt needs to be spread out. And in so doing, you have to deprive yourself of certain things, and then you increase your savings so that based on that gradually you'll be able to pay parts of the debt. But whilst your income levels are low and then your debts are high and you want to still spend as you were not having a debt, it will keep you constantly in a trap. And most loans, most borrowings goes with interest. So if such situation you don't plan your activities well, if you are not careful, the interest alone, when it compounds, it will worsen your financial situation than it used to be. So we need to treat debt as a very serious issues in our daily dealings. We need to ensure that when we have debt, we cut down a lot of our spending and channel some of the money constantly to paying debt whilst we plan the future. When we're able to go out of this current situation, we don't find ourselves today.
Now, what is one golden rule that everyone should remember before taking a loan?
Plan and borrow out of the gap of our plan. You have to plan and borrow out of the gap of your plan. So, you see, when you do your plan, you know that I want to do this. So, with the plan, you need maybe 10,000, but your revenue source is 6,000. So the gap, whatever you want to do, is 4,000 before you borrow. So what we are seeing recently I'm aware some banks are giving out loans. Many government workers, many people are rushing in to take the loan. But the question is, was this thing planned? So you have to actually plan your activity. Compare your income to your expenditure, taking into consideration all your investment portfolio. And where there is a gap, where your income levels are lower than your expected investment plans, this is where you have to plan. So what I'm saying is that plan and borrow out of the gap your plan.
Try and borrow out of the plan. But if borrowing today means sacrificing tomorrow income, are we really solving a problem, or we are simply moving the problem into the future?
It depends on what the borrowed is for. If the borrowed amount is a viable venture, the results is different thing. If the borrowed amount is for recurrent expenditure. Somebody borrowed to travel, just go for holidays and come. Somebody borrowed for a viable venture that grows with time. The resulting effect, the two borrowings will give you entirely different or parallel end results for it. Somebody borrowing for investment is a sacrifice to do that will yield better, enjoyable future.
Okay.
But somebody borrowed today for a trip to go for a holiday without a corresponding increase in other source of revenue, definitely have to bear the consequences for the borrowing the person made today. In such a situation, the borrowed amount will fight against your progress, while the one who invested the borrowed amount works for future income increase. So, like we've been discussing, the focus is that you have to actually have a better and viable plan for the borrowed amount, or else the borrowed amount fight against the future, but do not work for the future.
Wow, that's quite
Thank you.
interesting. That's really, really interesting. So, if you could put this in a summary in tree for me before we take leave of you.
Thank you, my dear friend. And then you so fine Ben you so na ya bobusia abra bosia na ye bob and say ye sikasa na yesi nipa bebre abobosia ma bosia ekuwo mu ade ni na ene de sa bosia ma ye bo ekuru ko eba ye bosia manfo ade ye bobosia nti ubebo bosia sa ebidu rebi na bosia no uzo baby a engine enam bosia na wabo aburu so 80 ngo se cha speed itika se mu bibia be ye basa sa ha no alkwekwe se mutuality kom oman ensu timikom ana adwumakuo ti se company enso etimi ekum enti busia bebrebe a yebo a yemfa ni adwuma ebeboa ede sunsanso aba no sa busia no ede yeko hawo mu na obo busia eye niema miru na busia no ye se busia na wabo eba be kutia odaache na se busia na wabo eba be ye odaache ye enti sɛ wokɔbɔ bosia na wode sika no ɛkɔyɛ adwuma bi a bɛma wo nsunsuansoɔ papa yɛmfa ne sɛ mahu sɛ bɛpɛ sɛ meyɛ adwuma bi na wabɔ bosia na wode sika no akɔ akɔbie shop na wode yɛ adwuma a saa bosia no a wabɔ no ɛbɛma wo daakye no ɛbɛboa wo daakye no ama wo daakye no atumi ayɛ yie mmom sɛ wokɔbɔ bosia na wode bosia no ɛkɔ akɔto awie ntoma ɛne wode bosia no ɛkɔ akɔto party anaasɛ wode bosia no ɛkɔ akɔboa w'adamfo bi na wode ayɛ ne papa yi abra a wontua anaasɛ bosia no a wabɔ no wode kɔ akɔyɛ nneɛma bi a photocam yɛfɛ no recurring na wode saa bosia no kɔyɛ a na sɛ wohu sɛ sika no bosia no a wakɔ akɔbɔ no ɛba abɛfo akyia wo daakye nti ne yɛka ne sɛ nyɛ sɛ wosɔre yɛa sɛ wotie bosia biara nka pɛpɛɛpɛ na wama okura so sɛ okɔ akɔ bosia isɛ wobɛte sɛ nyimotuo binom so obra mɛma obosia wode wotie bosia na apɛ na wasɔre na wakɔ sɛ ɔmomia nsa bosia no bi woyɛ obi a wotaa yɛ saa nsikasɛm no wobɛnya haw ɛwɔ ho yɛse ansa na wobɛgye bosia no wankasa tena ase na yɛ wo nhyehyɛeɛ a yɛfrɛ ne plan ɛyɛ sɛ misika na misika sɛ na menya ma wo do na me di bedi bi ama sese sɛ me pese mekɔtɔ afidie bi ɛde yɛ adwuma nyɛ sika na bi misika ɛyɛ 1000 ɛnum afidie no so bo ɛyɛ 1007 a me sɛ mekɔgye bosia 700 na the 700 ne ba bɛ so ni misika mi so na adwuma die na me pese ni bi no metimi adi nti bosia deɛ ansa na wobɛgye bosia no ɛdɛ sɛ wotena se na wodwene ho ɛhwɛ sɛ adeɛ no a mede bosia no ba bɛyɛ no bosia no ba bɛwo ba na tumi atua aka no ama mɛsa anya mfasoɔ ade wei na ɛsɛ sɛ woyɛ ansa na wabɔ bosia na wonya nyɛ saa ade wei a akɔkɔbɔ bosia wanhwɛ yi a daakyensawa a wode bɛtɔ ho so ni bosia no ba bɛko atia wo daakye yɛka ne sɛ bosia yɛ ade mu ida sɛ ɛbɛboa wo daakye ama wo daakye ne mamu ayɛ kama ɛde ama wanya asomdwie ama wo daakye waseta no mu akɔ yie anaasɛ bosia no a wabɔ no ɛba bɛko atia wo daakye nti misa ne sɛ bosia no a wobɔ no ɛbɛyɛ wo daakye yie anaasɛ ɛba bɛko atia wo daakye ɛda masia no pɛi
Ora Foster, Otin Amwako, MBN, Morning Focus, Yanso Yadasi. Yes, so we're having a conversation with our tax expert, Foster Otin Amwako, throwing light on what is called the debt trap. No, debt is not necessarily the enemy. When used wisely, borrowing can help us invest, manage emergencies, and achieve important goals. But when we borrow without understanding the costs or without a clear repayment plan, that same debt can become a financial burden. The key is simple. Borrow with a purpose, understand the cost, know your repayment capacity, and never borrow simply to maintain a lifestyle you cannot afford. Because financial freedom is not about never borrowing. It's about being in control of what you borrow and why you borrow it. And that is where we draw the curtain on today's discussion, the debt trap. How can we borrow without destroying your finances? 053-715-8638 is the number. You can also join us here this morning and let's have the conversation going. 0537, you just heard Foster Otin Amwako on 053 on financial debt traps. And then what have you learned too? So share your thoughts with us. I'm going to pay my mentor on 053-715-8638 and numbers. Now also obey to me. Afraid. Ma yatonka 053-715-86. My mentor on 053-715-8638 and numbers. So So whilst waiting for your calls, from Parliament will be having a sitting today, investigate the alleged student defilement thoroughly. I mean, this is serious, very serious, very serious. The Parent Teacher Association of the Bolgatanga Senior High School has condemned the alleged sexual abuse of a 14-year-old student with special needs of the school and called for a full, transparent and expeditious investigation into the incident. The alleged incident reportedly involved 2 security personnel attached to the school. In a statement, the PTA said that followed the recent development and the media reports surrounding the case with deep concern and considered the allegations extremely disturbing. PTA has called for investigation to conduct without delay and appropriate sanction apply. Now, security for Obi with special needs Ghana. Oh, David. 053-715-8638. And the numbers you can also join us this morning before we go for our final break and we'll wrap up. Let's hear you. 053-715-8638. Numbers now also to me. Any attrition come and anopay. Now yente won't come as we soldier on for God and country. 0537-15-8638. Will be calm. That would be a tumboko near Tonka, near wrap it up, near sorry, near call. A Monday, a Juada. It's Monday. Not yet, car shows there. The anniversary is also on the 28th is a homecoming. The homecoming starts 28th. That's a coming Friday. There'll be half night from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. On the 29th of August, so the homecoming, we are all meeting, whether you have passed through the church, whether you have come there for once, you visited once, you're an old church member, whatever it is, you have any dealing with Maranatha Power Ministries International, we're inviting you for the homecoming summit, which is Friday with a 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. all night. That's a 4-hour praise, worship, and prayer and the word from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. Then on the 29th, which is the following day, there'll be a float and evangelism, 5 a.m. to 11 a.m. Also part of the homecoming, 5 a.m. to 11 a.m. Then on the 30th of August, we'll have our first and second service as usual. The anniversary week, it starts from September 1st. Moment of Miracle, 9 a.m. to 12 noon. Training section, 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. So there will be that Moment of Miracle on the 1st September in the afternoon from 9 a.m. to 12 noon. There will be training section from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. Then the evening service starts from 5 p.m. and ends at 8 p.m. That's day one. Then 2nd September morning, 9 a.m. to 12 noon. Training section is 1:30 to 3 p.m. Then we have the evening section, which is 5 to 8 p.m. 3rd September, the morning is 9 a.m. to 12 noon. We have the same training, so there's a schedule running through to the 4th of September on the 1st to the 6th of September, 30th anniversary. Friday is a half night, 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. on a Friday. Then 5th September, Jesus Walk, at 9 a.m., 5 a.m. to 9 a.m., 4-hour Jesus Walk. There'll be ordination at 10 a.m. to 12 noon. Then 6th September, joint service, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. So that is the schedule starting this Friday, the homecoming schedule that is coming up. So keep the dates on your diaries, on your tablets, on your alarm. Set the date, set the alarm, and let's keep rolling it up. and on Friday. Friday is the main time that we are gathering. I've given you the schedules. Maybe I need to go through the schedules again for you. On Friday, which is the 28th of August, at the homecoming. So there's a homecoming planning. Is this half night, 7 to 11 p.m. 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. 29th, we have a float and evangelism, 5 a.m. to 11 a.m. Paint the entire city with our colors. That's the homecoming. Then on the 30th, Sunday, we have our first and second service as usual, English and also tree service, and Ga mix, English, tree, and Ga mix on the second service. Then 1st September, we start on a Tuesday, 1st of September. We have mornings sections at 9 a.m. That's the moment of miracle, 9 a.m. to 12 noon. Then there will be training sections between 1 and 3 p.m., 1 to 3 p.m., the 2-hour training sections in the afternoon. Then we gather in the evening from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. I mean, it's going to be super, 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. And it will round through same to the 4th of September. Then the 5th, which is a Friday, the 4th, which is a Friday, we have a half night, 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. prayer time, followed by the following day, which is the Saturday, Jesus Walk. So the Jesus Walk is 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. Then ordination service is 10 a.m. to 12 noon on the same Saturday, on that same Friday. So we have ordination right after the Jesus Walk. There will be ordination. Then the Sunday, we have the joint service, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. So don't be late. I mean, if you look at it, we're expecting the President of the Republic to be there. We're expecting Apostle General Sam Korankye Ankrah is also coming. We have Bishop Dr. Dominic Ulave Alote, all the way from the US of A. One church, two cities, New York and Accra, also coming. We have an Apostle Major Lois Brandt, also will be in attendance. Apostle EAT, that's Itzaki, will be there. What a shock. Then we have the minstrel, the man, the psalmist, Apostle Lamte. To bring us that grand chorus you can always think of. And when it comes to training, how to build your finance, how to build wealth, don't expect to have, I mean, we're going to have Superman all the way from the US with Dr. Kenneth Nichols joining us. Prophetess all the way from Germany, and some Hampshire will be there. Prophet Richard Odro will also be there. Don't forget that the host is Bishop Francis Noble Afoto-Odae and Reverend Mrs. Valerie Afoto-Odae. They are hosts, and then it's going to be some so Ejano Enya Abutru Yeso. And so I've run you through what we should expect, what is coming, and what we are looking forward to see. And so today is 7 more days to go, a week from today. And this morning, you come expect great things from God. Expectation prepares the heart. When we expect God to move, we approach Him differently. So expectation prepares the heart. And when we expect God to move, we approach God differently. We pray differently. We worship differently. We prepare differently. Isaiah 54 uses the picture of enlarging a tent because God was preparing his people for expansion. You can read Isaiah 54. Maybe when you read Isaiah 54, God was preparing his people for expansion. The numbers on your screen, you can join us and have any conversation with us on any of the topics we've shared with you this morning. I know some of my callers have called earlier, but you can also join. Because if you read Isaiah 54, it says, "Oh, sing, O barren, thou that didst not bear. Break forth into singing. Cry aloud, thou that did not travail with child. For more are the children of the desolate than the children of the unmarried wife. Says the Lord. Enlarge the place of thy tent, and let them stretch forth the curtains of thy habitations. Spare not, lengthen thy cords, and strengthen thy stakes. For thou shalt break forth on the right hand and on the left hand, and thy seed shall inherit the Gentiles and make desolate city be inhabited." So there's coming an enlargement. That is why, so when you prepare, Isaiah 54 uses the picture of enlarging a tent because God was preparing his people for expansion. As Maranatha Power Ministries International approaches 30 years, we too, like I said, we too, all of us, you and I, must prepare for the next chapter. What should we expect? So you need to prepare. Isaiah 54 gives us a picture of how you have to lengthen the cords, how you have to extend the tent. So as we approach 30 years, we too must prepare for the next chapter. What should we expect? Greater impact, more lives transformed, stronger families, a generation rooted in Christ, greater outreach. This is some of the things we need to be expecting. New opportunities, deeper commitment to God's purposes. Now the preparations we need to look at, because God is going to take the ministry to the next level. Deeper commitment to the God's purpose. Greater outreach, new opportunities for ministry. Greater impact, more lives transformed. Stronger families. A generation that is rooted in Christ. But expectation must be accompanied by preparation. How prepared are you? Don't just see this as just one of the fanfares and go away. There's a new dawn and a new chapter that God is going to move the church into. You need to be prepared to move with the wave. Don't just sit there and say, because I'm coming. Expectation must be accompanied by preparation. We cannot ask God for greater impact whilst refusing to grow. I'm saying that we cannot ask God for greater impact whilst we are refusing to grow. We cannot pray for greater harvest without preparing for the harvest. I hope I'm communicating. You know, the next chapter requires prepared people. The next chapter of the Maranatha Power Ministry International requires prepared people. We are entering into a new season. And this morning, I want you to declare to yourself, I entered this new season with expectation. What are your expectations coming to the 30th anniversary? I believe God for a greater things. What are the greater things you are believing God for? Ready for participation in what He wants to do. You don't just come, but come prepared. 30 years behind us, a new chapter ahead of us. Prayer, prepare, invite, and expect. These are the things you need to do. Come with expectations. You pray, you prepare, you invite somebody, and you come with that expectation. God is about enlarging our cost. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Morning.
Morning.
Say do.
Dr. Tedros.
To say.
Hello.
Biento onka. Bien echo. Yetiewo kasa. Okay. Isaiah 54, the verse 2 say, enlarge the place of your tent and do not hold back. We have reached the final 7 days of our countdown of the Maranatha Power Ministry International at 30. 30 years behind us. A new chapter ahead. This is a time to remember God's goodness, but also prepare our hearts for what God wants to do next. We are preparing to celebrate the faithfulness, the impactfulness, the goodness of God, but we must also prepare for the next chapter, the next level, the next thing God wants to do. So I'm encouraging every Tom, Dick, and Harry. Don't approach this anniversary just as another event. No. Don't approach it as just another event. Come with expectation. The Bible said the expectation of the righteous shall not be cut off. Come with expectation. Come believing. Come ready to worship. Come ready to give thanks. Come ready to encounter God. There is still more that God wants to do. So why are you coming? I'm coming, I want to encounter God. I'm coming, I'm believing God for a turnaround. I'm coming, I'm ready, I want to worship God for who He is. I want to praise God for how far He's brought me and how far He's going to take me. I'm ready to encounter God, because God is there to do more. I came to encourage somebody to be part of the 30th anniversary celebration. It is not just an event. It is another chapter in our lives. It's another movement. We are putting 30 years behind and we are pressing forward towards the mark that is set before us. To run that race so we can part ourselves and God part us at our shoulders. Are you ready? 7 more days to go. 1 week. We have reached the final 7 days of the countdown. And this is a time to remember God's goodness. It's a time to remember God's goodness. It's a time to prepare our heart for what God wants to do next. Don't hold back. It says, enlarge the place of your tent. Do not hold back. I love the scripture. Do not hold back. Do not hold back. And that is what we're celebrating. 053-715-8638. One Chemi said, I have to do this because prepare for what God is about to do. Like I said, we have arrived at the final week of the 30th anniversary countdown. 30 years of God's goodness and faithfulness have brought us here. But I want us to understand that this is not only about looking back. It is about looking forward. God has more for the Maranatha Power Ministries International. There are more souls to reach. There are more lives to impart. There are more young people to raise. There are more communities to touch. So I encourage every member, prepare your heart. Come into this anniversary with expectation. Believe God. Pray. Invite someone. Prepare your family. and let us celebrate what God has done. I said, believing God for what God has done, whilst believing Him for what is ahead. The question is, are you ready for the next chapter? Are you believing God for greater things, greater impact, greater testimonies? That is what I'm believing God for. I'm ready for the next chapter. I believe God for a greater things, greater impact, and greater testimonies. That's what I'm believing God for. I'm believing God for that. I don't know what you believe in God for, but I came to announce it. If you have not prepared, start preparing. We have been doing countdown. You pray for the anniversary. You pray for the leadership. You pray for every speaker and minister is invited. Invite someone. Share the anniversary information. Prepare yourself spiritually. Expect God to speak to you. I want God to speak to me. I want to ask you a very simple question. What are you expecting God to do in your life during this 30th anniversary celebration? Write it down. Pray over it. And come with expectation. And God will meet you at the point of your need. It's an exciting time. Just can't wait to bring you the highlights from each of the day. We'll bring you the highlights. We'll bring you a mini doc on it from day 1 to day 6. We'll crown it all. I know God will give us the strength to do it. Thank you. Go a few more minutes. I go for this break, then my final break for the morning. When I return, I read a few text messages. I do my birthday wishes, and I shake that hand of departure with you and say bye-bye. All right, so welcome back from the quick break, final break for the morning before we shake the hand of departure. So, a few messages coming in. This one is from Aben. Say, good morning. I am Aben from Kwabenya. Please, Mr. President, I think it is high time government take advantage of this spillage of Bagre Dam than destroying properties and farms. Do something, my president, for this spillage. And he sends greetings to Dr. Julius Deborah, Chief of Staff, Honorable Peter Akwesi of Tema Shipyard, MC Agbo of Gun East, and Nana Ampem, Eastern Regional Women Organizer, still maintain. I see this one. Okay. This one is Eddie Tabora. Eddie Tabora has sent his label to us. And he's asking us to vote for as executive member in Yasutium constituency. Ni Kwe Atram, aka Idi Tabora. And he says, together we can build. So good morning to all senior comrades. It's another bright new morning, day, and wish we are doing well with our families. I ask Allah to protect you, guide till whatever sail to you. Okay. Bless your hands. Bless jobs, bless your family, added more wisdom, patience, wealth, strength, and long life to you. Whatever we will touch with our hands should be blessed to others. This is our campaign message this morning. Okay, Nia Trump, we wish you well. We look forward for people voting for Nia Trump to become the Enya Sotium executive member of the ruling NDC. The ruling NDC. He's the man called Ni Atrap. Ni Atrap. Yeah. Atrap. They vote for Ni Atrap. So Ni is one of my callers and he's vying for that position. So we wish him well. We look forward he grabbing that position as a member, executive member of the NDC. I got a few more minutes. Let me get you here from my people in Akwitia from all over the country, from Zabzugu through to Tatale. We want to hear from you. 0537158638. The number's got a few more minutes to wrap up, and it's time for me to hear from my loyal, lovely, wonderful, fantastic viewers. Umaminti Munka Anope 053-715-8638. 053-715-8638. Numbers no. Maminti Munka 053-715-8638. NPP MP someone of your markings of extortion allegation report. 053-715-8638 is the numbers. Also, which we are friends to be a so interesting things in Niger this morning already. I mean, as for the bogus senior high school matter there. Now watch me and not the any harm. Dear cry ne ha. Meme. Oh, Debbie. My abusive special needs of the school, and I'm more abusing 14-year-old sexually. Watch me, you know. Mon young Colano Swania Monzumukwa Mukwini 053-715-8638. And numbers also obey to me afraid and obey PCR Monshe na Yanko. Ghana's gold driven growth model is unsustainable. Professor Pokin. We are sacrificing long-term survival for short-term praise. Professor Pokin. Economist Professor Godfrey Pokin has criticized Ghana's growing reliance on gold as a key driver of economic stability, warning that the country risks sacrificing its long-term survival. Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Mr. Morris.
Yes, it's you in 60 seconds. What's that?
Baby, what you got?
Baby, are you friend?
I'm meeting the man. Now, say, na maybe that's a video on a board here. Which media or your MP here, in your 20. No more power. Was some trying. Now, and the chorus no more to my own. Now, Muti video. The answer in the air because you want to pray. Now, they high and it doing some. You see, sorry, I offered my but when it do you call when you man nowadays. Yes, from my mama. The boss I was saying, on say no, and the other one, came out of the whole thing. Any time of baby behind you, and he song say, no, because in Febia, they are present over about no one time, they are doing some thoughts to do. Now, we need one penny rolling and you funny currency. So, say, rural education, which means can't more in the army or buy what idea for the policy or the buy a board manager. It's in the person of me, mama. One share one policy, the 6 months present, the 4 years present, and then the 10 present. Policy power, they are bad. Hannah, for me, home passport. NDC needing for all country because me NDC, but me who your mom, me, Lawrence Baby, what the whole Ghana. Only the minimum and confirm what you go. Second one, do so. Third one, acquire not communicate about my better ready to feel so. Here's who cut and perform. Now, when you this, you won't talk a second somewhere. The cast of my little corner now. On my another calling Zelda. Come for Chaba, this you could call a cook of Makuya. The Sanko come for what they call her on my media. The Sanko Colibia, giving idea your policy. I was a Hannah for you passport. And then the Emma will also step past the Sika Mountain of the mine to go up to get to GI. Go your castle with the man boss. Yes, someone more heavier a woman. One can't say if you are fully focal in Sweden. Yes, because Galamtin about offshore mobility, almost to craft someone empty also. A different policy and so not the brain. Now, on care who you say. So then be uncanny. Sana, or not on the post, then come a brave bar, and brother Danny. It's Tom paying Mamma said. How about one could be here? When you good girl to her, no be a day on one about because I just some the film for good a member no. Or my payment only you, but I'm for you, you video, Mr. You dear no, I can just say, what a good girl now, I'm for yes, oh, my penny, mamma, or buy why I just sent in why. That's why I was for a boss and could you? Let me shout.
Have a good morning. Now, meanwhile, news coming in: the minority leader, Afinyo Markin, is expected to face questions from members of the New Patriotic Party parliamentary caucus this morning of an allegation of extortion made against him by the Ghana Gold Board Chief Executive Officer Sammy Gyamfi. We understand that some senior members of the caucus consider the allegation serious and are demanding answers from their leader. The allegations were made at the seat of presidency where Gyamfi addressed journalists in response to claims by the minority leader led by Afinyo Markin over reported losses associated with the Bank of Ghana's domestic gold purchase program. 053715868 is the numbers. You can also join us. So between your friend Edward Jentre Abba Afinyo Markins. SkyTrain case, High Court gives Asamoah Ameya Kofi until September 23rd to file defense. The gains are not durable. Professor Fokin warned Ghana over gold-driven stability. Parliament resumes today for 5-day sittings amidst pending ministerial nominations. MTN pledges 20 million Ghana cedi support package for Ghanaian returning from South Africa. In some football matters, Ochoado should have been sacked after AFCON disqualification failure. Andre Ayew. I apologize. Dr. Yamson admits MTN Ghana was late to condemn xenophobic attacks. What is wrong with us? We can find money to bury the dead, but not to keep the living well. 053-715-8638 is the numbers. My worry is my focus this morning, just before I take leave of you, has to do with the Kumbungu district when it comes to spillage. The National Disaster Management Organization, NADMO, has warned residents in and around the Nawoni, the Kumbungu district of the northern region, to prepare for the flooding as water levels at Nawoni intake continue to rise. Reading taken by NADMO on Saturday, August 23rd, showed that the water level has risen to 23.85 feet, placing it within the critical flood range of 20 to 30 feet. Officials says the elevated water level increases the risk of the white water overflowing 8 banks and flooding nearby communities' farmland, particularly if additional rainfall occurs in the area. The Chief Disaster Control Officer Idrisu Abubakar Zeblim said NADMO was closely monitoring the situation, including the rainfall patterns in the area and ahead of the potential spillage from the upspring of the Bagri Dam in Burkina Faso. However, he cautioned that any spillage from the Bagri Dam operated by Burkina Faso's national electricity company, Sonabel, could significantly worsen the flood risk in the northern region. Mr. Zeblim said NADMO would be notified of the exact date and time Sonabel commences the spillage, but the resulting flood water is expected to reach the northern region within 7 days. The sad aspect is that this has become an annual, I don't know what to call it, ritual. And every August, we get Sonabel spilling water. What have we been doing with the water? What we just allow it to pass. Then another year it comes to destroying property, livelihood of the people, farmland, and we keep doing the same thing. What are we not learning as a nation? So the Nawani one will go off in a short while. 053-715-8638 is the numbers. You can also call it 053-715-8638 is the numbers. You can also join us and go some few more minutes. We will say bye-bye to you. 053-715-8638. And as part of preparedness measures, NADMO has also pre-positioned a rapid response team in Wale Wale in the northeast region to support emergency response and evacuate operations should the situation deteriorate. The agency is urging residents in vulnerable communities to remain alert and follow official instructions as monitoring of the water levels continue. So that is coming from the northern part of the country. Spillage will be done any moment. So it's an annual thing that happens every time. 053-715-8638. The numbers, you can also join us. Maybe I can do 1 or 2 calls in my range now. But for now, let me turn my attention to other stories. And then we'll come back. 053-715-8638. Air numbers no. Good to me. Afraid and underpay. And underpay. And underpay 053-715-8638. Air numbers also obey to me. Afraid me na yedi komo. Underpay also. According to the EFA Borga issues, Borga 14-year-old sexual abuse by 2 watchmen. How can you do that? How can you do that? How can you do that? Ghana. All right, let me go do some let me just go straight away and do my birthday wishes, and then after we turn our attention to say a good big thank you to all of you. Birthday wishes. Oh, if you could put the other picture of her rather than this, when it's in the she's in the attire, what do we call it? The I sent that one to earlier. So we can put Frederica in her fire service kaput. Yeah, Frederica, she's in the choir. So on behalf of the church and the entire choir, or the choir, the minstrel, not a minstrel choir, we wish our dear sister Francisca a happy birthday. We thank God for your life, your beautiful dedication to the choir, your selfless service to the nation as a fire service officer. May the good Lord continue to bless, protect, and prosper you. Happy birthday, Francisca. That is happy birthday for Francisca. Today happened to be her birthday. We wish you long life, good health, and as usual, plenty money. That is our wish for you today. Plenty money. Now this one is from Belinda to Emmanuel. Belinda to Emmanuel. Belinda to Emmanuel. Yeah. So that is Emmanuel on screen. And this one is coming from Belinda. I said, may this new chapter of your life be filled with God's grace, goodness, peace, favor, and abundant blessings. May every dream in your heart find expression. May the year ahead bring you beautiful opportunities, genuine happiness, and unforgettable moments. May God guide your steps, strengthen you for every challenge, and reward your efforts beyond expectation. Reward your efforts beyond expectation. And this one is coming from Belinda. Belinda to Emmanuel. So we wish you long life, good health, and plenty money. That is what we wish for you. Long life, good health, and what? Plenty money. And this one is going for everybody calls him Bishop Benjamin Tosu. Bishop Benjamin Tosu. I don't know whether people have the picture of the Bishop Benjamin Tosu, so you can place Bishop on screen for us, so we can wish Bishop to a happy birthday. MCR, if you've gotten it, so we can do that for Bishop Tosu as well. Then we can wrap up this morning's edition of the morning focus. So our next birthday wish is for Bishop Tosu, right? Bishop Tosu. Aha! So that is Bishop Benjamin Tosu. Today is your birthday. We're wishing you, and this is for Bishop Tosu. And it says, and I read, it says, happy birthday to Bishop Ben Tosu. Today we celebrate a true servant of God, a father, a mentor, and a vessel of honor in the kingdom. May the Lord continue to strengthen you, enlarge your territory, and increase his grace upon your life and ministry. May he grant you wisdom for greater assignment, divine health, uncommon favor, and many more fruitful years. As you enter another year, may your impact grow deeper, your influence reach further and your testimony becomes even greater. May the goodness and faithfulness of God continue to follow you all the days of your life. Happy birthday, Bishop Ben Tosu. May you flourish, prosper, and fulfill every purpose God has entrusted to you. May you fulfill every purpose God has entrusted to you. So, like we always do, happy birthday to Bishop Benjamin Tosu with long life, good health, and plenty money. Long life, good health, and plenty money. And that is from Bishop Tosu. And this one goes to Engineer Doctor. He's an engineer and he is doctor as well. Yeah. Okay. Right. So we're wrapping up today's edition of the morning focus. I want to say a big thank you for keeping time with us. It's been a wonderful journey with you. But don't forget the countdown. We're in the final stretch. Join us for the 30th anniversary celebration. But don't forget to join us on the Friday for the half night. Saturday, we do the walk around and evangelism as well. God bless you. My name is El Samuels. You have a good morning.